What is going on, Rippa fam and Rippa fans? ND Andrew here, Docu Andrew, whatever moniker you want to go with. I am back with our illustrious artists here at the Rippaverse because we have another fun-filled, jam-packed, knowledge wellspring overload. That kind of is an oversell, isn't it? We'll see. Episode of Ctrl+Z Artists Podcast. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys. We love hearing all the feedback that you guys are having fun with this podcast. I get emails and DMs all the time throughout the month of people saying they're really grateful for this kind of just fun, creative discussion that we do here on the show, and that it's challenged a lot of you to try and up your game if you are an artist yourself. Because we put out the challenge for you guys to join the guys for the prompt. Not me, because I don't draw. And you guys will find out when you see the when you guys see the Andrew sketch, which I guess in a great segue for that for Rippazine number 5. You should pre-order that. You should really pre-order that. It has passed actually 60K now, which means I will at least show the Andrew head sketch, which was how I was first trying to work out what Zephyr's super suit head would look like before it kind of refined it, and then it became the full thing. You get the full thing if we hit 100K. That's a tall order. So we'll see. That closes down this Friday night at 11 p.m. It's Tuesday today, Tuesday. This episode's going to air tomorrow. So y'all are going to have like 2 days. So get to buying. So you guys, look, this is for you guys, right? This is more for you guys because then you get to laugh at my silly drawing. You should want to do
Eric
that.
should take notes. Eric should take notes instead of requiring millions of for the sketch.
$8 million. I'll reveal my sketch. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a little still challenging. That's a tall order for a magazine, man. Like that's not easy. But anyway, let's talk about actual artists here. Our theme for this month's prompt was pirates. It could be, seafaring pirates. It could be spacefaring pirates, but it was pirates nonetheless, and everything that goes along with that. The guys all had fantastic pieces, as they always do. But they really brought it for this. And you guys did as well. So, in fact, because so many, I can only show so many. So, I picked a few of the several pieces that were sent in to me for this month's prompt. And we're going to go through a few of those today instead of having our usual discussion piece that we go through to take up the back half of the show. Instead, we're going to make it focus on your guys' art. And you're going to get some feedback from some actual talented hands here. So look forward to that. The pieces were really good. I'm glad that it wound up working out this way. And I'll out myself here. I hadn't prepared a discussion topic piece, and it just wound up being really convenient that so many of the fan pieces that were submitted were just so good that it was like, hey, I could just like make the focus on the fans, and they already did the work for me. Instead of me having to come up with a topic at the 11th hour. So yeah, we're going to do that. Thank you for being here, guys. As always, after we go through each of the guys' pieces, we will throw those up all on the screen at once, and you guys will be able to vote in the chat via YouTube chat poll to see who takes home the as of yet non-existent belt. We'll get there.
The ghost belt.
I say that every single month, but we'll get there at some point. We're just all busy, and I'm not designing the thing. So,
I would love that. We should have that. We should have
Right.
Andrew design the belt.
That make it even more special.
Yeah.
Then nobody's gonna want it.
Sketch.
You guys are gonna be
The
like,
belt
you know what? You keep that. That's fine. No one's gonna want that belt. It has to look cool. People have to want to fight over it.
It makes it extra
Anyway. Yeah, extra, a certain kind of special, that's for sure. But let's, without further ado, I can speak. It's fine. Let's go through these pieces, and I think we're gonna start with Marcos. I actually really like how this piece turned out, and just as with last week, I am in fact starting these a couple of seconds forward, so you guys don't get to see the finished piece until you actually see it finished on screen. So you gotta actually stick around and watch. So I'm not sorry. Let me share this. Make sure that Marcos. Perfect. No, it doesn't need audio. There's no audio to be had. All right. Let us go through this. Look at that's already better than I can do.
Ooh.
Right? Guys, don't get too hyped for the Andrew sketch. Like I said, it's for your benefit to be able to laugh more than you already do at me, not because you're going to look at some amazing piece of art. But anyway, let's go through this. Take us away, amigo.
It's funny. I was trying to remember what the hell that was. That line. Now I remember.
Looks like you were
'Cause,
starting a game of Hangman.
Yeah. Yeah. This piece, it went through so many changes, as you're about to see. It's like 10 minutes long, but it's like 3 of them are like the initial sketches. As you can see, it used to be just Ingrid. I wanted to have Ingrid with the like ropes instead of like the lassos. Kind of made sense for like a
Yeah.
pirate themed. And then having her like be confronting this giant Numite, kind of like a kraken in the ocean. And then I added Yaira as well. You can see her here with the hat and everything.
I really
But
dig the
I kept
perspective
changing.
on this one here.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly.
the one he's
Yeah.
gonna go with, man. So
Like
Gonna
I
have to
said, there
make
were
that
so many versions. Yeah, and I kept switching because it was like I would find new elements that I didn't like. So yeah, here I changed Yaira. I was trying to change her pose a little bit because I wasn't feeling the initial one. But then I decided, screw it. Let me change the whole thing. So I went for this one was more of Ingrid like swinging into the action, but instead of like putting a new might, I switched it to just fighting Yaira, Pirate Yaira, which
Dude,
made sense at the time.
Gonna
'Cause,
have to make
you
all
know,
of those,
Ingrid-
man. Those look good.
right.
all these
But
sketches
these are
probably look better
dynamic
than-
as hell, man. Like,
Yeah.
Thanks. I actually wanted to do that one, but then
Look
I
at
was
that.
like, you know what?
This dude
Too
is
much.
safe.
I ended up. Now this is the actual piece I decided to work
Mhm.
on, which is just
Yeah.
Ingrid, Pirate Ingrid, with the sort of like a heroic pose, swinging with her ropes. Might not be when you think about the realism, might not be that effective because you're gonna get stuck. You got your arms tangled around the ropes, but it works. That's her powers. Who
Gonna
cares?
get drawn and quartered.
Yeah, she was like immediately stuck. But yeah, this one basically was just meant to be her randomly swinging, maybe like in a fight on a ship or something, and she's like swinging around at the top, and decided to give her, of course, braids, a couple braids. Actually, she's only 4 of them, but I wanted to give her loose hair. Obvious, that's what she has in the actual designs, but a little bit of braids to make it more piratey. Oh, I thought about giving her like a bandana, but I thought maybe that would make her way too different. I don't know. But I gave it instead of as a scarf around her neck to cover because I was initially going to go for ropes around her neck and her shoulders, but then the logics, the logistics didn't make sense. I was just going to hang herself. She's just going to stretch,
Right.
if she uses her ropes. Made sense to hide it with the scarf. And decided to leave the ropes on her arms and going around her back and then tying around her waist, as you'll see here on the sketch. But
Nice.
yeah, wanted to put also not a flag, but I don't know what they're so called. The those things the ships have, the pirate ships. The oh my god, I forgot. I don't know the term.
Crossbones?
Sales?
No, the cloth, the frickin' oh my god.
The sails?
See, English is not my
Sails,
main.
yeah.
Sails.
On the the sails. Thank you.
Okay.
The main sail behind her with the skull and bones, but kind of torn because in the middle of
Okay.
Hey, English is not my main, so you can't really say much about that.
You're good,
But
man. You're good.
It's all good.
initially it was gonna be a flag, a pirate flag, but I thought it wouldn't make sense for the like on the ship where they have a flag like that, as big as it is. I drew it behind her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it really went into the detail of the rope, even though
like
you
the
can't really
texture,
see it well here.
No,
Yeah.
it's super textured. I can see it on my screen.
yeah.
When people if people end up watching this on a larger monitor and not just
The
their
screen,
phones,
yeah.
they'll see all the texturing you did for the ropes. Like that's
Yeah.
man. I want nothing to do with that. That's too much work for something that so many people would not see. But it looks great when you do see it, right?
Yep.
Another
Nice,
way
yeah.
for people
It's actually
to
fun.
check that is just subscribe to the team because we send those images in high resolution.
Oh, true.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Great,
You can
great
see every
sales
detail.
pitch. Yes, if you are a Rippaverse member, at the even just the $5 tier, not only will you receive all of the gentleman's prompt pieces in the monthly newsletter, you'll also receive a free copy of the latest Rippazy, which you should totally do.
Oh, I like that.
Sir. You
Like
are.
Yeah,
that,
look, his
that
grayscale here
gradient.
is so good.
Yeah, I like that gradient. It adds a lot.
Yeah, thanks. I had to give it a little bit of gradient because I was gonna not color, but to paint the sails in the back black was gonna make it very contrasty, and I was like,
Right.
I can't just leave her be white, you know.
Mhm.
So I went through. I think it was a single layer. This is all a single layer of the
Really?
shading.
Okay.
Cause yeah, I first did, as you saw earlier, I did like a little grayscale from the bottom, like angled upwards. It's like a gradient thing, a tool
Mhm.
in Clip
Okay.
Studio. And then on the same layer, proceeded to add this tone, like this toning with a brush and blended it in. I think I did a separate layer for like the darker tones a little bit, just for a little bit, because I didn't want to mix them up. But yeah, it was mostly one layer of shading. It's
It's
just
really good,
different
man.
different pressure, I guess.
Really love her buckles, like the buckle, her
Mhm.
belt buckle, and then also the
Yeah.
extension of her shirt, I believe.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that red contrast was nice.
Yeah, I thought
Man,
about coloring it red, but I felt like maybe black and white fit more
that's good too. Yeah.
the
Yeah, it
scheme.
looks good too. Yeah, but I like the red. Yeah, it's a nice contrast.
I didn't know what to
There we go.
give her in terms of outfit, so I decided to give her just the leather pants and it's like a
I think it works. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it
it
works
works
really
really
well.
well. Yeah.
corset with
Yep.
the no sleeves. Just
Mm-hmm.
she does have gloves, leather gloves, but I mean you
Mhm.
can't really tell much without the colors.
You can tell
But
on the upper hand, I think more than you can
Mm-hmm.
tell on the lower one here. Like this
Yeah.
yeah,
definitely looks like a glove because you can see
the
the
outlines of the
Wrinkles.
of
Yeah.
Mhm.
the wrinkles. Not as much on this hand. It's a little harder to tell.
Yeah,
But it's easy enough to say, oh, well, this is like this bracer right here is part of the glove or something like that.
Yeah.
Is how
yeah,
it looks to
I
me.
love how you can actually feel the well, two things. I love how you did the rain effect and
Mhm.
the
oh thanks.
how it's bouncing off the flag. You actually see the beads,
Mhm.
rain and the splashes, and then also you can tell the tension of the rope. Like it
Mhm.
actually feels like she's pulling it.
Yeah, it actually looks taut,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep. Yep. Very well done.
yeah, I had to like how do you say the indication on her arm that it's like being
Oh yeah, yeah.
like entangled by the rope
Mm-hmm.
a little bit
It's really good.
to give it force.
I like
And
it. If anyone wants to learn something from this piece, like there's a lot to learn, but the shading, if you
Yes.
go back to like 10 minutes in the video, Andrew,
Yeah.
almost around 10 minutes, when he's shading her leg, that's like in the foreground, like more in the foreground.
Mm.
The way Marcus does this is a good technique if you wanna like go with grayscale and then color.
Mhm.
Like if you guys can see, he goes into the darkest color of the shadow, like kind of the darkest tone of the shadow, and then he
Yeah.
kind of
darker first.
splits everything, yeah, to give it some shape because it's let's consider the leg a cylinder, right? Like so
Mhm.
the shadow would fade like over the surface,
Right.
and that's a great technique to use for painting if you don't want to commit to like, oh, I'm gonna use color because it distracts me, so I'm gonna go grayscale. Just make this and then drop a layer over it, start going over with like hard light mode or color mode.
Yeah.
You're gonna get great results with this. and it's a way to control your edges. Because if you
Good.
pay attention to the knee that's like in front of us, there is still a
Mhm.
darker shadow where the light doesn't hit,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, right here.
kind of a gradient that he's merged in. Because before it was all dark, very dark.
Yeah.
But since it's a cylinder, you need like that. Those values need to change like
Yeah, the
gradually.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a
good.
great use. Like you didn't lose the shape, but you also like gave it like more of a nuance where it's not just two tones. There's a lot going on there. It's really good.
Yeah, there's several tones
Yeah.
Gray is working with here.
Yeah. Then when you come in with the whites, like everything pops. It's really good use of like
good.
the grayscale and everything. Like this is a lesson for
Thanks.
colors more than anything, because you need to add volume to your
Yep.
drawings. That's what colors should do.
Yep.
And this is basically color. I know it's grayscale, but this is basically what a colors does. Like does add volume to shapes. Really
Yeah.
good.
Good.
Ironically, because it's a colorless piece.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah. But
for
this is the
colors.
best lesson. Like if
Process.
you want to learn
Yep.
how to color, you need to get your values right, and
Yeah.
you need to do
Like-
it in grayscale.
You could take this and do
Mm-hmm.
that color method where they actually draw over the grayscale,
Mm-hmm.
because everything is distinctly, laid out as far as, light, like Igor said, light to darks, and, transitions. And, they always say, like, if you can squint and see the values well,
Exactly.
then you've done a good job. And everything, like, and you're really good. Margot said, like, kind of like the distinguishing material textures.
Yeah.
That's not always easy to do. Like
Yeah.
her boots versus her pants versus her
The leather.
her blouse, and then the
robe.
corset, and then the robe, all that. So, and even the flag, man, like giving that flag the motion that you did. I'm always a huge fan and component, man, of like if it's blowing and active, it's the background. As I was telling you that, the other day, the background is just as important as the character.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
taking the time to really flesh that out, and make the really giving the flag personality. It feels like it's part of the scene rather than, I've seen people do it, and it can be a distraction, but
Yeah.
it blends and flows right with her. And honestly, even if it was red, I think it would still achieve the same thing, because you did such a good job
Yeah.
with gradients. So
I was really debating whether to keep it black or put it red,
that's nice.
because
Very rich,
yeah,
but not
it's
too.
just
Oh,
I don't know. I felt like maybe it was too much if it was red, because the contrast wouldn't have really been the same from the
You're gonna
black and
send
white.
me both versions, and I'm gonna give both versions to everyone.
Yeah.
Maybe.
yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Why the
looks
heck
good.
not? That's a bonus one
Yep.
for y'all.
All I gotta do is basically tap a layer on and off. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I did leave him a separate layers with colors.
Smart.
There's so many things you like did right, and I know Igor can attest to that. In that flag,
Mhm.
like the lighting on
Yeah.
the crossbones, like
Mhm.
pulling the red from the flag itself,
Yeah.
giving the crossbones that kind of pinkish color, and then like the fade at the top of the skull, dude.
Mhm.
Like almost like you could see like if there was light passing through behind it, so you
Yeah.
could tell it's a transparent object, but you can also tell that it's a thick piece of cloth based
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
shadows and the things that are
Even the
in the
folds,
center.
right? Show
Yep.
the weight of the cloth.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
I
dude.
dig
That's
it.
actually a bit hard to fold a flag, not a flag, the sail or the flag, whatever. Is just kind of hard sometimes because
Mm.
the way it bends the material it's really tricky,
Yeah.
and takes a while of practice to get it right.
Yeah.
And
Well, you got it
speaking
right
of,
here.
by the way, thanks. Speaking of, I just noticed this wasn't intentional, obviously, but I just noticed. But the way her leg is positioned with her motion, it kind of feels or looks like she was cutting through the flag, like the sails. You know
Mm,
that opening?
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
she
maybe
tore it
she
open.
came through
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
I
solid
see
boots,
that.
honestly.
Point out,
Cut through that.
point out one more thing, man. With the
Mhm.
folds in the flag. The flag that's close to her chest, the fold that's close
Yeah.
to her chest is freaking amazing.
Mhm.
That
This one?
that whole area, dude, is like, I mean, it's simple, but like even the way you made the crossbones fold over,
Mhm.
like that's like
Oh yeah.
pro moves.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. Because there's a perspective going on there
Yes. Yep.
where like
Yeah.
the fold is kind of people forget about that when
Yep.
they're drawing like uniforms and stuff like that where there is a print on
Yep.
it. Like it's
Mhm.
The
it's gonna
fold.
change shapes. That there is no way around it. Yeah.
Well done, man.
Yeah, instead
Really
of being
good.
like flat,
Yep.
Yeah,
like a flat skull and bones, that would make no sense.
it's really good.
Looks better
Excellent
later
work,
on
man.
though, because right here is paused on like it's not even fully shaded, the flag and everything. We keep
No,
saying
but
flag, the
you got it.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
it
you
is a
stopped
flag,
there,
man.
that would have been
Listen,
perfect.
yeah,
Thanks.
It's a great piece overall.
Yep.
it's really good.
Great piece overall.
You level up
Any
every
final
week.
thoughts
Thanks.
on this one?
Yeah, it does. It really does level up every week.
It's true.
Oh,
It's true.
boy.
That's
I wasn't
Final
gonna give
thoughts,
her an eye
Caanan?
patch,
It works.
but I gave her.
Man, it's a pirate, man. Come on. All right.
Yeah, why not? Why not? That's part of it. That's part of the getup. Or at least
Because
for a lot of them.
if you picture her right here without the eye patch, it would have been like maybe 30% less piratey, in my opinion. Like she would have looked
true.
a
I
little
can
bit
see
less
that.
than a pirate. But yeah,
Okay. Great work, man. Great work.
thanks.
Let's
Sparkles?
and the fans are gonna be eating good with these wallpapers this month. All right, let's bring up. I think this one's Igor. I think.
Is it a mess? Like if it's a mess?
Whatever,
that's fine.
dude.
Is it a mess? Shut up. Get out of here. This guy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think this one's Igor.
Okay.
All right. Brother, take us through.
So funnily enough, I wanted to use rain as well. Marcos used rain. We didn't know about it. So I was going through different poses. I chose Lillian and Copper, but I was focused on Lillian first. So I wanted to give her some dynamic pose. So I'm trying different things, just messing around till I found basically this pose, but not entirely. And I was gonna put Copper in the background, like kind of guiding the ship. But then I thought, yeah, no, we need a foreground object or something like that, an element to frame this better. So I thought I would introduce him to the picture. So I covered that part, and you can see like kind of his head there. Yeah, gonna flesh him out a little bit more. My process is kind of a mess now that I look at it because I do a lot of different things in different parts of the.
You're shifting stuff around all over
Yeah,
the place.
if there was zoom in this, it would be like an insane man working, like zooming in and out. But yeah, so I thought it would be fun to kind of give this a try because I always want to draw rain, but I don't think I managed to do that very often. So I was trying to think of different ways of doing that.
Okay.
So first I thought like dark sky with white raindrops, but I think in retrospect that was a mistake. I should have gone with a white sky, like no nothing, and then the raindrops, because the rest of the image is kind of light, as you're gonna see. I shaded Copper really dark to give like room for the white specks and everything that comes with the rain, the raindrops and everything. But then
Like a
Lillian,
contrast.
yeah, but then Lillian's like basically clear line work. So it doesn't work so well as I was expecting. We're gonna see the end of the image. So if I was to do this again, I would probably either shade her more, like her clothing and everything, give more dark areas to play with, or leave the sky blank and maybe paint the ship in a darker tone.
Okay.
Because I added screen tones to it, but it didn't really do the job that I wanted. Like when sometimes you have this image in your head, and then you pull up some reference of other artists and pictures and everything, but it's still not quite there. And sometimes you just fail at making whatever it is. That's your
I don't see any
Every
failure
artist.
happening on the page here, man.
No, there is a lot going on. Like that face is gonna be erased and redone. Like there is a lot. Yeah, that's basically it. Like sometimes you have an image in your head and it just doesn't come
Yeah.
true. And
Mhm.
it would be better to start over, probably. But then when you're at this point and you have a deadline and you have other stuff to do, you have to call it quits. You have to like,
No going back.
yeah, there is no going back. You leave
Commit.
that for another day.
Yep. Like I'm in it now.
Yeah, just take a note that says, pay attention to this next time or something
Yep.
like that, or
Yeah.
watch out for this next time, and
Yeah.
just kind of
Better
move
next time.
forward. When you have deadlines, sometimes, man, you just gotta push
Yeah.
forward unless something is a genuine issue.
Yeah, exactly. There is no other way around that. Like we have, especially if you're a hobbyist, you have a job like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
You have to. You're gonna learn something and then move on to other things. It's better to be done than perfect. That's the
Yeah.
saying, right? Yeah. So for this is the same thing. Like as much as this is my job as well, but there are many other tasks that we have to accomplish.
Yeah.
And at some point you just have to be done with it. So you're gonna see like I added a lot of crosshatch because I was trying to give the sail the impression that that fold was
It's
kind of
canvas or
making
something.
some shade and it was old, but then it didn't work with the overall tone. And this is where like kind of the problem. You're gonna see me trying a lot of different things. Lillian was too clear, like there weren't any shadows or anything. So I
Mhm.
tried to come up with something that would make some sense and allow her head to be framed, so we would
Okay.
see her silhouette better. And I ended up making that. And also for the ship, like the rain and the ship image, I was watching some videos of guys that go like to the North Atlantic to fish, and
Yeah.
these
Oh,
huge
yeah.
waves come over
Yeah.
the ship and spray around. And I was like, man, I really want to kind of convey that. And then like that's the spray at the top. I was like, yeah, I want the ship to barely be seen. Like if you look above yourself, you wouldn't
Yeah.
see like too far away. Like it would be just a shape in the sky, in the
Because the
dark.
rain is so thick.
Yeah. So just trying to, and that's it. That's the
Michael didn't give a crap about the rain.
no,
Nope.
yeah, he was just having a good time.
Nope.
No, it was funny while you were like adjusting the sky, which is really, it was like the lightning was striking, which I thought was pretty cool.
Just flashing a lot of
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah. I was like, that's
Yeah.
pretty dope. Honestly, man, I like this.
Thanks.
She, it's funny because Lillian actually, in light of some of her abilities and stuff, she almost feels like a ghost.
Yeah.
Like a specter, kind of on the.
That makes sense, yeah.
What I was going to note is that specifically, she looks more like she'd be a Japanese pirate rather
Yeah,
than,
which is cool,
you know,
right?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, I
like
was going
straight.
over
her
red
outfit.
lines and stuff. Yeah, I was going over a lot of that thing, and I found out that Japanese did have like a ton of like pirating stuff over the
Mhm.
Chinese
Absolutely.
sea next to the border, and Korea even. They're
Mhm.
called like woko, I think. I don't know how
Okay.
to pronounce that, but yeah, but it was super cool to kind of see like these guys with samurai plating and then like
Yeah.
shorts, something like that.
Mhm.
Just yeah, it's a lot of fun. This is a fun part of the gig, that you get to like research a ton of different like
The lore of the piece.
yeah, culture and everything. Then
I
for
love it.
Michael, I just wanted to make him like holding the knife with his mouth because I think that's so iconic.
Yeah,
Definitely Michael.
that is.
I think
he would be
haven't you
that
had a
guy.
knife? Haven't you had a knife on every single piece so far? I mean,
That's
He's-
probably
What are
right.
you trying to say, Igor?
He's had a knife in a lot of them. That's true,
That's
actually.
in a lot of those. Yeah. That's true. The horseman has two
Yeah,
pieces,
yeah.
two
Mhm.
knives. Yeah.
yeah.
What you
man,
trying
I
to
need
tell us,
to
Igor? What
broaden-
you trying to say?
I need to broaden my
Igor likes
horizons.
you, man.
monsters. He likes drawing monsters, and on the side, knives. That's just his main
Right.
thing.
Hey, you know. No, I love the actually how you laid out the boat itself. It's kind of hard to tell with the characters in a way, man, but your draftsmanship on that, man, was crazy good. Like it was very solid, man. I love the the stern, and then
Mhm.
even the nets that you got coming from the crow's
Yeah,
nest.
you got the rope ladders.
Yep, yep.
And what looks really great about those, including the one that's here in the foreground, is they are in motion very
Yeah,
clearly,
yep,
right? From the wind and the
yep,
rain. Like they're wild, right? They're all
yep.
over the place.
I love the water
Yeah.
on the edge of the boat. I was kind of spilling off. You can kind of tell the deck is just being soaked, just because it's literally
Mhm.
like a torrential downpour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, man. Like a
You
little
know,
parasol.
Thanks.
yeah, Lillian being white like that kind of makes it better. Like it makes
Yeah,
the piece like it makes her unique in a sense because it does feel like she's there, but like she's not. Like she's a ghost. So
yeah.
maybe you should lean into that. Like there's a story behind this
Yeah, like the ghost
ghost.
ship or something. Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe she could astro project. I guess you can
Yeah.
be there
Of
but not
Michael's
there.
lover, yeah. Like,
Uh huh. Love the sword,
Because
man.
that's the thing, right? Like that's something that we see in art sometimes, where like you render something and then you don't render something else, and you run into this problem where a piece seems like disjointed. Marcus
Yeah,
was talking about in his work, like, oh, I had to add the gradient and the shadows and everything because she would be just white, and this is basically what
flat.
happens. Like, yeah, it's too flat, and then you end up with a piece that kind of the contrast is too much and in several areas, so you lose a bit of like readability. This would be easy to fix because I'm probably gonna color this piece at some point. So in coloring this would make this pop a lot more for sure. But I really didn't. If I was going to hand this over to another colorist, I didn't give him a lot to work with because he would have to sort out all sorts of things in this.
I mean,
But it looks great like this though.
yeah, I was gonna
Like
say,
it
man,
fits.
like it I don't just the kind of the way overall it doesn't really she really like she needed much more. Like I think it would have been too much. Probably would have took away from what you already did. It almost like gives your eye a chance to rest when you got the rain and then the background and then
There's a lot.
Michael and so a lot of textures, and so Lillian
Yeah.
being one solid thing that's basically basic. She's plain.
Mhm.
I think it works better that way, So
Yeah, it is what it is.
He's
Okay.
not happy with it.
No, not at all. Like I had the different image in
Watch
my
him
mind.
watch him win again. He's
Ah,
always
yeah,
like,
right.
I don't like it, and then he wins.
Like that's my favorite piece. Like
I think it's great. I can
Yes.
like I'm trying to see where you're coming from, and yeah, maybe there's just some slight extra cross hatching or shading, some grayscale stuff you could do with Lillian. But I also agree with the guys where it does make her stand out a bit
Yep.
from the rest. And if you did too much shading with her, the piece would all of a sudden look way too busy,
Yep.
and your
Yeah.
eye wouldn't know where to really be drawn.
Yeah,
to.
that's the problem, right? Like because I was aware of that, and then I added like the black to the umbrella, but that was about it that I could have done, right? Like I couldn't do. I could maybe like occlusions and stuff like that a little bit. I tried with the leg. If you go back in the video, you can see the moment, like a flash of a second, where I try with one of her legs to give like some shadows, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't, like because of the way that I lay out the pits. this is a lesson to everyone here, like to the watchers and listeners and everything. Like, try to compose your thumbnail more, because I didn't for this piece. I had something in mind, but I didn't compose it a lot. I didn't develop it. If you do whatever you need in the smallest space you can, where it's readable enough that you can experiment. Like Marcus was making was insane, like a ton of different pieces and everything, like kind of fleshing out. But if you can do that in a smaller scale, you're gonna be great. Like, it would have solved a lot for me.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the dark circle behind her. I feel like it draws the attention right to her. The fact that you added that dark circle, so it kind of makes sense because contrasting with the rest of the white.
It's not like
immediately
distracting. It's a pointing tool, almost like pointing like an arrow, like to look at Lillian. You know what I mean?
Had he not put that there, I think that Lillian would look off.
Definitely
it would be too
a little
much
bit
there.
more flatter.
It would definitely be missing contrast.
Yep. See, Igor, you wasn't messed up.
Great.
Trying to go over and fix the mistakes as they appear. It's not fun, man.
Hey, that's why we're here, you know.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Ctrl+Z, right?
right. Undo. That's awesome.
Great work, brother.
Thanks.
Great work. Thanks. All right. Let's pull up the final one before we get into the fan pieces. All right. Mr. White.
So
take us through this.
This is the final iteration, like Marcos. There were several of these. And you know, like you said, sometimes you need to move on. And sometimes it's like, doggone it, no, we're gonna like get this. And my thing is that it wasn't looking like my sketch. There's a fluidity that the sketch had, and every time I would render it, I would lose that. And so I went back over. I think I drew this probably like 5 times, like no joke.
Jeez.
And I was fully rendered, not just like sketches. Like it was rendered, and I was just like, this is not it. And so, you know, I was like, I like the sketch. I was like, I want the sketch to make it, the movement and the action to make it to the final piece. And so this is what you're seeing now is like, of course, this is Isom. I decided to go with Isom as a pirate. And you know, he just kind of had a serious face, but I was like, you know, I want to make, he's a pirate, you know, so it's a different era, you know, he's tag teaming with who you'll see at the top, which is Altona, his sister. And so they're kind of like the swashbuckling family, you know, it's an adventure. They're excited, you know. What's funny is that initially in his left hand, there was a rapier. It was in the other hand, and then the other one had a gun, I believe it, like a flintlock.
Pistol, yeah. A flintlock.
Switched, yeah. So this is what you know. Now you see the other hand's open, while the right hand actually has the sword. But
the right hand's got the saber.
Wanted to give him the hair, man, but you know, grown out, you know, kind of sea swept, you know. So it's still there. He got the beard with the beads. You know, kind of come in. I wanted to make sure so people knew it was Isom. I gave him his actual logo
on the belt. I saw that.
Yep,
I like that. Nice little touch.
Thank you. But really wanted to capture the action of like what's going on, because in my head initially there was a design where it was kind of like an overview, and then it was also him standing behind like a like the stern or the pillar, you know, thing that the sails, that thing, but it was from a different perspective. And I had in my head, you know, there's a scene in Pirates of the Caribbean, and I think it's when Jack Sparrow's like the last one on the boat, and the boat's just getting obliterated by like, you know, cannon fire. It's like debris everywhere, and, you know, you just see him kind of walking through the midst of it, kind of thing. And so that's kind of the mindset with this, is that they're in the fight, with another boat. You can't see the boat, but as you see me render, you'll actually start to see, like, I'll start to add the debris and stuff. But again, love texturing. The hatching and stuff isn't simply for cool factor. Hatching also defines texture volume. So artists out there, when you do render, if you do choose this type of style, you have to use it sparingly, because the darks and the lights and all those things are important, but sometimes it can be too heavy, and then you lose the intent of what you're trying to do. So you have to have parts where there's nothing, parts where it's just white, part where it's very, very little, very few, just enough to kind of keep the eye, give your eye a chance to relax. And that's necessary, especially when you're capturing motion, because that's one of the issues. While I was drawing it over and over again, like, my rendering started to get heavy, and I started to lose the dynamicism of the sketch, and they felt like statues instead of people, and that's not what you want, especially in an action filled scene. Like, you want them to actually still feel like they're alive, not Stedford wife cuckoo, just blank faced, NPCs. So but yeah, like I really wanted to, like, with Altonia, I really wanted to play on kind of her personality. They're a little wild, if you look at their faces, they're a little reckless, kind of playing on that little aspect of their character as well. And she's kind of falling back while firing her pistols. That's her weapon of choice. She's got the whole pirate jacket kind of thing.
I love she's got the hat.
Yep, got the hat. The what do you call it? The revolution. I don't even remember what those hats are called, but and just there from there, with the background, because there's so much detail in the foreground, I just basically used like a really soft brush and just kind of hinted at what was back there, and then blurred the background as well, just to let you know that somebody's back there, but it's not the focus. And that's kind of how things are as they recede. The detail starts to, you start to lose the detail. But yeah, man, like, this was fun, man. Like, I was trying to make sure that his suit or his outfit still kind of resembled Isam's suit. So if you look at his biceps, it's got the same kind of like markings of the orange and the same thing with with his belt, of course, boots. So he still has the ISOM elements. But it's more like,
if you colored it, you could give his shirt like an orange color and the pants black.
For sure. Yeah.
Yep. So
Super cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I love adding the debris, a little mist in the background behind them, just to kind of separate things.
All the bullet lines.
Because that's one thing too. I was gonna say, sorry, Marcos. When you do a heavy rendered style like this, it's necessary to break up the image. And sometimes people use a white line, which you can do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it feels fake and kind of like posterized and almost like a cutout, rather than you're trying to emphasize and make them pop. So adding a little bit of some of that white mist effect behind it just kind of separates ISOM from Altona, so they don't blend into each other, and it's kind of muddy. So, but yeah,
it's better than just using like making the lines thicker, separate them.
Exactly.
Better than that. By the way, are those gunshots? Those the white lines going horizontally?
Yes. Yep. Muskets.
That's the cool. Yeah. The gunshots.
So their boat is being destroyed. So
it really brings you into the scene.
Yeah.
It is an action-packed scene. I really like this. I love your Altona.
Thank you, man.
Like, I already love Altona as a character, but like, I really like how you draw Altona.
Thank you.
She looks like she's just a ton of fun in this piece.
Yeah, man. Like I said, they're the whole thing is they're reckless, man. You know, they're pirates. You know, so it's like, you know, let's go out in a blaze of glory kind of thing. And you know, even I don't know if you zoomed in on his face, like you can see where some of the debris like sliced him across the eye, but he's so
Yeah.
focused, man. He didn't even flinch.
Yeah,
You know?
right here.
He's grinning through it.
Yep. Yep.
'Cause
So
you know what's funny? If you it made me. Yeah, I thought it was the Blood Ruth at first because if
yeah.
you could replace her with the jacket and the hat, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I would have worked either way because they've also teamed up. So it's like
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
it's really good.
It's really good. It's, the point that you brought up, Caanan, about the texture and everything, it's really good too. Because much like Marcus, what he was doing with the shading and everything, you're giving it volume, you're describing where the light is hitting, where there's like reflective light, the materials and everything. Like I've told this I've said this 1,000 times, but like the way you handle like rendering is insane. Like because it's enough, but on the hands of anyone else it would be too much. Like in my hands it would be too much. It's really good, man. That is
Thank you, man.
an amazing.
He makes
piece.
it
And
look easy.
Yeah, he makes it look easy, right? Like, oh, I just have to add like a couple of hatches here.
You know, and
Just a little line.
what's funny though, man, is like when I'm rendering, it's almost like, you guys probably test this when you add color as well. Sometimes it just feels right to do it that way. Like yeah, okay, you know, this shadow should go here. I just feel like it should go here, like because it just works with the, almost like when they say when you're sculpting something, the character starts to tell you what and where things go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever heard people talking like this. Like as I'm sculpting this person's face, it's just like it's kind of telling me like add this and do that, and it sounds hokey, but it's true. Like as you're developing your characters and and stories, it's like I feel like he should wear XYZ or she should go and visit this person because it just feels like that should be the next thing, And so like that's how I feel like something like when I'm rendering a lot of times, sometimes like Bob Ross says they're happy accidents.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, like you may, those that work digitally, they have like the little bucket tool. You may drop a bucket on something that's not completely sealed off, so it fills in more than you plan.
Yeah.
He's like,
Every
oh,
single
look at that.
time.
I actually like that.
Maybe I can leave this part. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of that is sometimes a lot of it's trial and error, man. Like it's you just like, okay, and if it doesn't work, start over or back out, or like you said, don't try to perfect it. Try again next time. But with this one, I was definitely being a perfectionist because I was like, doggone it, I want that layout. It was it was exactly what I wanted, and I wanted
You're adamant.
Yes, I was like, it has to show up. That movement has to show up in the final, and so I was just determined, man. Like he went through a lot of iterations, and I'm happy where it ended up. So it was fun.
Now, to your point, about for artists, as you continue to draw a character, the character starts to tell you, where to go, what to do,
Yeah.
what to add, what to subtract. That exact philosophy is actually that applies to writing.
Yeah.
Excuse me, as well. The more you write a character, specifically a character like say that you created, you start to get to know that character better, because it's one thing to have an outline, even if it's a super detailed outline for a script. Once you get to the actual scripting part,
Yeah.
and you've been writing that character or characters for X amount of time, they start to kind of inform you of what comes next.
Yep.
And sometimes that means you have this outline over here, and sometimes you veer off a little bit from it because the characters are telling you differently. The characters are saying this right here feels more organic. This feels natural.
Yep.
This is the correct course of action. And that's a genuine like writing philosophy. So it doesn't surprise me that it wouldn't be any different with art.
Yeah,
Awesome.
especially when you have like as much of a baggage as like Caanan has, like with the amount of work that he has done, and he constantly works. Like some of this stuff is ingrained. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're
I'm
right,
sure,
Igor.
like yeah, you don't have. I've seen enough time lapses to know, and PSDs, and it studied his work enough to know that like some of this stuff, like he didn't even have to think about. Like it's just like I know this is the
It's
right way.
automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas mortals, we have to think about
These are
everything.
immortals.
Yeah.
It's
We
awesome.
have to keep thinking about like how I'm gonna fix this, how I'm gonna fix that.
Well, it's funny, man. Like you say that, Igor, but that's a lot of times that's really the hang up that artists have. It's not that you can't draw it, you just haven't drawn it enough. And the more you draw it, as I was talking to Marcos about backgrounds, the more you do it, and the more you like purposely, well, drawing it just to get it out the way versus purposely drawing it. Like
Mhm.
when I approach backgrounds, particularly like cities, and as of late, I've been trying to force myself to draw more street level stuff. Anybody can draw a cityscape. That's always it's just buildings, squares, rectangles, da da da. But it's a
Mhm.
little bit more challenging to draw somebody standing by the don't walk sign during rush hour. Where you got cars and buildings and businesses are open. Like you can't just use the far away windows. For when you're standing next to a grocery store.
Yeah.
Like
Especially when you want to give a feeling, right? Like
yes,
it's
yeah,
just her shower. It's just like
yep,
there's so
Background can
much going
inform the
on.
mood and
yeah,
tone of the
exactly.
piece.
And it's crucial, man, to like really learn that stuff, like to the point where when you draw enough cars, you can create a car. It may not be an actual brand, but you've drawn enough cars, the schematics and
The basics.
the basic pieces of what a car is, and you can create something. You can make a sedan, you can make a truck, pickup, semi, like whatever. And same thing with weapons, same thing with clothing. When you've drawn enough clothing and stuff, you know where the folds fall. You can exaggerate on certain things. And then of course buildings and boats and things like that. So it's not, so to the artist listening, it's mileage. Like it may be hard to draw initially, but keep doing it, keep sticking with it, whether it be architecture, really intricate architecture, or just farmland, because people may think that would be easier to draw, but drawing a meadow and field and the tree
Mhm.
line in the back, like that takes understanding of middle ground, foreground, background, like that.
Yeah, it's composition, right? Like
Yeah.
planes, everything that goes into that.
Yep.
Like maybe sometimes you feel like your piece doesn't work, and you think it's about the details, but it could be like compositional
Yep.
problems and
Yep.
like
Could
not
be
even
everything else.
problems. Yeah, you could be everything else.
Yeah.
Because you look at a piece sometimes and you think, oh, this is so cool, but you don't know why, right? Like it's just you have to really think maybe back to the basics.
Yep.
Mhm.
Uh, just to end on a note like here, of course you can say whatever you want else, but to me like you brought the point of the background where you use the soft brush, and that
Mhm.
Mhm.
was like really good because you
Thank you.
didn't. I know you drew like there are barrels that we're not seeing and everything, and you
Yeah.
rendered everything. But like if you didn't do that and just added that shape in the background, like
Yeah.
that would be enough to convey, because everyone knows the shape of the, like how you guide the ship, and then
Yeah.
like there is a guy there pointing a gun. You didn't
Yep.
spend a whole lot of time, and you provided everything that we need. And this is a lesson in composition, right? Like you're adding a first plane, like a foreground, middle
Yep.
plane, and then
Yep.
background. Like the background doesn't have to be detailed. We've talked about this ad nauseum, but yeah, it was really good, man. Like the soft brush choice was like on point.
Thank you.
That's all I have
You
to say. I've spoken my word now.
I have spoken.
I have spoken.
Yep. We both thought the same thing. I have spoken.
Awesome.
Excellent. Beautiful piece, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful piece. All right. I am going to quickly pull up where is it? This, right? Yeah, that looks right. Actually, hold on. Can I? It's going to be an easier way to do that. I can move this over
Jeez, Andrew,
here.
jeez.
I know. It's like I'm not a YouTuber or something. It's crazy. Here we go. I always forget how to do that. But now I've remembered. Yeah, there we go. All right. Here is the piece of all three prompt pieces by the gentleman pulled up. I'm going to leave that up for a couple of minutes before we jump into the fan pieces. So, guys, polls going up in the chat. Make sure you vote for who your favorite piece was. Whether it was Igor's with Lillian and Michael, Marcos's with Ingrid, or Caanan's with
Marcos is
Avery
like
and Alto.
looks like a trading card, dude.
It does, right?
That's
It does.
Yeah, really.
I
does.
could
Yeah,
see that on a
collectors.
trading card. Yeah. That's
Like
one of these
stats
days.
and
Maybe we'll have to. Well, shoot. Next episode is going to be our 1 year. I'm thinking. I've got ideas rolling around in my noggin for some cool stuff we could do for this.
Okay.
I'll percolate on that. But guys, I will bring this back up again after we finish up going through the fan art, the pieces. Yeah, that was deliberate. So yeah, it's me. What do you want from me? So yeah,
You
let's
should have
go
you
through
should have
these
said it with
awesome,
more. You should have said it with a more Arrr.
with
Like,
more gusto.
try it again.
It's
Arr.
right. And
A little
art.
more gusto that time. Yeah. Good point. All right. Let's pull these pieces and let's get them shared.
I'm gonna review it in the pirate voice. No, it's supposed to.
That'd be kind of funny, actually. I'm kind of here for it. Move this one up here as well. Cool. That one doesn't want to cooperate. That's okay. We'll make it work. And here is the final one, which we'll end with there. All right. So we are going to start, I think, with this piece by Matt McAdam. And his was of Sydney. We got a blood moon here, too.
Ooh.
Look at that. That's good use of color. That's some black, white,
Yeah,
blood. I've
that's
been
smart.
pestering
Yeah,
Eric
man.
to make a black, white, and blood version of Blood Ruth for
Right.
ages. Maybe if we do a definitive Blood Ruth at some point, we'll have the regular one, and then there will be a black, white, and blood version because we've already done the black and white versions. So, all right,
Super
guys, you talk about this. You're the artist.
I would
Bro.
say. Oh, so okay.
No, go ahead.
And I'll say right off, and this is not anything negative, but it's I guess the only negative about this is the white line, the white outline. It made it look like a cutout, which when we talked about before, and I think if you just left that off and like rendered her a certain way, you wouldn't even need that. That aside, love the pose, love the blood sword, love how you did the pirates, love the pose. The sword dripping is crazy.
The
I like the
outfit.
blood moon.
Yes, yeah, the blood moon too. Love her hat. You got with the blood root, the skull in the front, you got the feather in the cap. Love even how you like her expression was like really well done.
Dude, I love the fact that he made the swords out of blood. Like,
Yes.
it fits in
Yeah.
with her powers. It makes so
Super
much
cool.
sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
He probably added the white outline just to like separate the sword from the moon.
Right.
He could have done something else, I guess, but yeah, that's probably why I did it.
Yeah, but he could have added like some reflections and stuff like that. Like maybe some colors add bloom. That has been Caanan has seen me give that feedback to colors like a
Yeah.
thousand times. Like when
Yeah.
where, especially if you make a poster or something like that, people like to make movie posters with like many different people in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, it's an easy way to separate, like kind of a smoky kind of looking. You use a
Mhm.
soft brush, but don't go too far into it. Like you just create, like the light is hitting it and just like kind of sparsing it out, like reflecting into the atmosphere or something like that. Like you really don't need a lot. I think the biggest areas of problem would be like the cape. Maybe the line work would be lost in her hair. So
Yeah.
maybe there you add like
Yeah.
some highlights, stuff like that. But it really I don't think it would need a lot. Like
Yeah.
this looks amazing. It would look perfect
Yeah.
without the white line.
Like,
But
and then
this,
go
yeah.
ahead, Igor. I'm sorry.
No. I was just going to say, like to Marcus' point, like it's a really creative use of
Yes.
her power set. Like this is understanding how the character work
Yep.
and giving it a twist, right? Like you don't want your characters just punching it out, like all over again. Like just I'm a puncher and a kicker. Like you want some smart uses of like the powers, and
Yeah.
yeah, this is one for sure. What you were going to say?
No, I was saying, like, I mean, honestly, if he did keep the white line, he'd just make it thinner. But
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
beyond that, man, like the blood swords, that is definitely the highlight of it's always
The
cool to see
sheen.
people use their powers simply more than just like threads, of web of blood, which essentially that's how she's used it so far. But why couldn't she make blood constructs? You know what I mean? Like,
I
why
mean, did
couldn't she
people
make
read Blood
She
Ruth
could,
1?
yeah.
She made armor out of it.
exactly? So
One of my favorite designs, by the way. The blood
It's
Yeah,
armor.
her blood armor, that was pretty wicked.
yep.
It's pretty nice. Overall, like I love this piece. This is like wallpaper material.
Yes.
Oh,
Um,
true.
I would maybe take the school that's more to the right and add
Mm.
like kind of a bigger one somewhere, or maybe zoom out a little bit.
Mm.
Add one that was bigger and more in the shadows, just to frame things.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mm.
Because we have two planes right now, and I would love to have like a third one in the foreground with
Mm.
like some elements, like maybe just a head, like
Yeah.
the back of a head, like looking at
Yeah.
her like she's surrounded. That would look
Yeah.
cool. But then again, this is just like nitpicking because it's a great piece.
Yeah.
Like her face, I love her face. Like
Me too, man.
it's
Yeah.
simple and effective.
See, he was
Yeah.
on the right track here with with regards to not actually needing that white outline we were just talking about.
Yeah. He
Because you
did.
look on Bloodwood's hat, her
Yep.
cloak, and the cape part of it. He was utilizing the light from
Yep.
the blood moon to differentiate that against the black background of the night
The
sky.
highlights, yeah.
All he had to do, and he was even doing it a little bit here on some of the skeleton pirate dudes. You just
Mhm.
lean into that just a teeny bit on the
Yeah.
edges, right? And you don't even have to do it for the whole outline at all. You just do it enough to where it makes that clear contrast against the black background, and you're
Yeah.
good as gold. Like you don't need any of that white outline there at all.
And to your
What I-
point, Andrew, honestly, it blending into the black actually probably would have been a cool effect.
Yeah, I was going to
Some
say,
of the
Mm.
parts.
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to show it all. Like I know that when we draw this, I've been guilty of this.
Same.
I've been guilty of this 1,000 times, but yeah, we don't have to show everything that's happening in a piece. Like you can just
Yeah,
It's 'cause we're
I have that same
sometimes
problem.
afraid.
I want people to see my stick figures in all their glory.
Sometimes we as artists tend to be like afraid, like
Yeah.
of
Yep.
how
I
this
was
ends up
thinking that.
looking. So we don't actually, and we try to make it like as perfect as possible in a sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
But something I would have done though to prevent all these issues with the white outline and all that. I would have made the moon smaller, just so it doesn't like
Mm,
interfere with the sword, and
yeah.
then maybe give it. You know how when you look at the moon, you it has a glow around it,
Yep.
like on the back. You
Mhm.
could add a little bit of blur, like a shine of the moon
Mm,
surrounding it. It would have
Instead of it
illuminated a little bit
looking
more.
more like just a big ball in the sky.
Yeah, it would have given more room for like the blacks to contrast with the
Yeah.
shine of the glow of the moon.
Mhm.
And then maybe the outer rims of the moon color that, like blur it out white, and then the more of the center of the moon is red, so it has like this sort of glowing effect. My hand keeps getting in the way. Sorry. But yeah, it would have given it more white to contrast the black in the front. Just something I would have done, but
Okay.
it works
Okay.
either way.
I'm tracking with you.
Yeah.
I like
You
that.
get what I
Awesome.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. Great piece.
Really good. It's
Great
amazing that we
piece
get
by Matt.
this level of pieces. Like
Right?
I
Yeah.
know, right?
this is insane, man. Like it's so cool to see because we've been doing this for less than a year, and like some of the fans are really talented, and you can see that they're like, if not ready, almost ready to kind of take their own step
Work.
into the journey as an artist. Like
Yep.
it's really cool.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially now that it's been long enough for people to know the characters
Yeah.
more
Mhm.
and what they do and how they look and everything. They could like play around. Comparing to like the first year of the Rippaverse, where the fan art was more uh well out there for the fans to do because they didn't know much about the characters yet before Isom dropped. We had a bunch of Yaira fan art and stuff, but it's not the same now. Everybody knows the characters more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely shows.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Matt, for all the work on this piece. This is awesome to
job.
see. Great Sydney piece. Um, speaking of fans who have, been with us for a while and working on pieces for a while, this next one is by someone who's actually been submitting for a little bit. And this will be the first time his piece is on the episode. So unfortunately, it's in a
Featured.
PDF format, so it's a
Mhm.
little stranger in terms of how it's going to look. I'll have to fiddle with the window here a little bit, but I can do that. That's fine. I'm a pro YouTuber. Right? Kind of, maybe not so much. But yeah, this piece
Ooh.
of Michael Copper here. So
Ooh.
he went with Michael just like you did, Igor. And I like that right off the bat. I like that he kept the colors that we often
Yeah.
see Michael in.
The red.
That kind of mahogany, burgundy-ish
Kind of burgundy,
Burgundy.
suit.
yeah.
Yeah. I really like that. So I'm here for that. But take it away, gentlemen.
This could be him before he lost the hat and then went into Igor's piece.
They just threw away the coat.
Fighting for his love.
He's the opposite boat.
Ghost.
I was like,
Yeah. Dude, I love that he has an eye patch, and then the one eye
Yeah.
has the power coming out. It's super
Yeah.
nice.
He took it off for the other.
I should have thought of that.
I love
super
the
cool.
pose, man. Like it's very dynamic, and you actually feel the energy. Good job on the face. Very very good
Yes.
job on his face. The
The
screen,
muscle.
like, yep, the muscles and the wrinkles around the nose and
You
how
can
it
see the
opens.
tension in his neck.
Yep.
Yeah, and the shirt.
Yep.
I like that.
And then
the
foreshortening on the
framing.
hand. Yeah. Yep. Framing too. It also reminds me of a trading card.
Yeah,
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
This
kind
was
of
like
burned
alternate
paper.
universe, which we don't have, but alternate universe trading card set where everybody's a pirate.
Yeah, like there's like kind of this burned paper
Mhm.
parchment feel
Mhm.
around it or something like that, and then the choice of having the sword kind
Yes.
of like coming out of the picture. It's
Coming
really
out of the
Breaking
frame,
out of the
yeah.
frame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good job on
That's
the
great.
hand
Good
holding
choice.
the sword too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same effect if the sword was cut out by
Yeah.
the frame.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
it would be totally different. This
Good
just
job.
makes it pop.
breaking
It
the
would
panel.
feel a lot less three-dimensional.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I like the glow in the eye though. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's popping out his energy. You can tell he's angry. Like he's about to.
Yeah.
He's well, not angry, but like he's committed. He's about to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you guys read Black Eye Club, you'll realize very quickly you do not want to deal with an angry Michael Copper.
Yeah.
No.
And
Really don't.
hey, you know what? That's actually kind of a funny pun. The black guy, he's got the patch.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
When
yeah,
something
yeah.
happened.
That's true.
I know.
How did I know? Yeah, I haven't thought about that before.
Let's assume he planned it.
Hey, Riggs, yeah. It was like,
You can almost always assume. It's a safe
Is that a
assumption to make.
is that a bell
Yep.
behind him
Yeah,
there?
it
Yeah.
seems like a
Yeah.
bell.
That would be a bell
Gotcha.
on the ship. Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
texture of
Catches
the
my
wood
attention.
too, on the especially on the
Ooh.
handles, man. Like that. Yeah,
Oh,
man,
yeah,
that shit
here.
looks like it's actually like wood
Mhm.
Yeah.
on the spokes. Really
Yeah.
looks really well done.
In terms of
Yeah, the
colors,
ropes.
yeah, the only thing I would change would be like adding maybe like a tint, just a tint of blue or another shadow to the
Yeah.
background, like behind him,
Mhm.
just to separate him enough from the because red and
Red
and
and
the
red.
brown, yeah, they
Mhm.
kind of mix together. If you turn this black and white, you're gonna see that they have the same value, kind of like they're close together. He did a good enough job with the masses of black concentrated on the character in the foreground. So the
Yeah.
background just has lines, which separates him enough. But if he added like just a tint of like a different color to the mast, I think it's called the
Yeah.
pillar
Yeah,
behind
that's
him.
fast. Yep.
Yeah. So if
I
he
think-
added like just a little bit to the mast in the background, he would separate them more.
Maybe
I think-
also a little bit a highlight on the handle of the wheel, I guess.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
highlight
Yeah.
on the parts that are closer to his body so that
Yeah.
it separates him a little bit more.
Yeah, I think my main critique here would be there's a plane and a line weight thing going on here with
Mhm.
Michael, the wheel, and the mast.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
better separation
Yep.
between those three to give it more that three-dimensional
Exactly. Yeah.
vibe, because right now those are all very similar line weights.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so it's
That's one way to solve it.
reducing the number of planes that it looks like we're actually dealing with.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, like
exactly.
he kind of did that with the black parts, like the masses of black that he has.
Mhm.
And he just needs to push it a little bit more to, like Andrew was saying, like separate the planes because you have all the elements there.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
just need to like push it a little bit to make it read better.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to lose some of the detail in the wheel or
Yep.
something like that if you want to
Mhm.
make it darker. Like it's all part of that. Like the legs, you don't have to show all the way. Like if you add some shadows coming, because usually the parts that are on the
Mhm.
ground, closer to the ground, are gonna be darker.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
don't lose a lot because of that. Like you can work with that. You can even incorporate that into the way you think about it because it's gonna save you some time. Oh, this is not gonna show so much, so I don't need to render this
Right.
into like existence, like that it's gonna pop out of the.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. Like,
It's,
but it's an overall like we're saying like the other pieces. It's kind of like adding to what is already there. Like you don't
Yeah.
need to
Mhm.
change
Can't be
a whole lot.
afraid.
Yeah.
Can't be afraid to add more.
You could actually you were talking about adding like shadow and stuff, like even on the side, the chest, Michael's chest area, really going into kind of the groin area could actually be shaded a little bit
Yeah.
more even.
A bit darker.
Yep, a little like a
Well, because
little
it looks like your light source is behind us anyway,
Exactly,
right? So that would be all darkened up
Mm.
exactly.
pretty significantly more.
Yep. And it's just
You could
like
actually kind of go nuts with the shading there if you wanted.
Yeah, like I said, even if it was like a slight overlay of just like light and shadow, kind of like what he did with, not as dark as he did with the inside of his jacket, but just
Yeah.
some of that there too. And then on the flip side, more highlights in in addition to some of the shadow on the wheel, like you mentioned there, Andrew and Igor, just so it doesn't look flat.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you have to watch where you place some of the lines because there's tangents, with the middle
Tangents,
spoke as it goes up into his armpit. That's kind of the parallel. It's like a weird line with that, and then the one coming out of the groin area is kind
Yeah, I just saw that and I was like, ah, man.
I just saw
then,
that too.
yeah, it's and then like even with the backgrounds, you kind of have to be careful with the little border so that it doesn't distract, from what you're trying to do. But other than that, man, like it definitely has major potential, man. Obviously, the artist, he knows what he's doing as far as like constructing a scene and really capturing like the energy of the character. So, kudos to that, man. You did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, for sure.
Love the hat too.
Yeah, the texture on the hat.
Yep.
Yeah, it's super cool. Adapted the character, like your guys are mentioning. He kept the basic colors.
Yep.
Which if you play any games that have skins in it, that's something they don't mess around with a lot because it changes the character entirely.
A character's got
like,
a color scheme. That's the character's color scheme, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's basically.
And while
how
Michael does wear multiple suits, the thing we see him most often with is the white dress shirt and the burgundy,
red and green.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a good choice, good idea. Yeah, those are like, if you take those notes on, you have a killer piece. Caanan mentioned like squinting, I think, in the previous piece or in this episode, and that helps a lot. If you squint or just like zoom out a lot, there is a thing called the navigator in Photoshop and Clip Studio that you can use. You're gonna see a smaller version of your piece, and that's all you need to kind of read if the planes are correct or not. If it's
good.
like, if you can tell, like if everything's kind of separated enough.
Yep.
There's a lot you can do, but there is a ton of potential here. Like the hard work is already done. Like this is all. Yeah.
Now it's just the kind of the fine tuning that elevates it. That next
I can't get enough of this, man. Like the
it's like I'm excited to see what he's gonna, other stuff he does, man.
Yeah, what does he do next, right?
Yeah,
super cool, man.
Great work, Porter. Thank you for your great work on that.
One thing that I would suggest for this guys is sending in like the social media where you have your pieces, because I can add those while we're talking.
And I can pull those from the email. I think I don't think all of them gave that to me, but I think Joshua here, who did this piece, was the one who didn't have one. I'll have to double check.
Jesus.
Yeah, this is as detailed as
this is traditional, right? Like
this is traditional. So I actually I threw this in Canva, threw a filter on it to like make it whiter. It's like more up the contrast between the blacks and the whites.
Okay.
And then I put a slight uptick on the clarity of the piece so that the lines looked really clean, or as clean as they were going to look with me just throwing it in Canva and not being exactly a savant and all that. But I wanted to make sure to like retain all of his like there's a lot of detail in this piece. Like this is there's a lot going on here. I'm looking forward to hearing you guys talk about this one here. So this is Joshua Ignatowski, who, shout out to you, man. You are probably the man who holds the record for a number of questions asked on Chuck's Ask Chuck Dixon show. Every single week when I listen to his show, which if you guys aren't, you should absolutely do so. Joshua always has multiple questions that he asks Chuck, and so it's great to get some insight over there. But guys, take it away.
It's a nice angle choice, I would say.
Yeah.
A great angle choice.
The
I hadn't
perspective
noticed that
is
we were like above.
yeah. That's why
Mhm.
like when I saw it, I was like, oh, actually, we're elevated. Okay, so
Yeah.
definitely, that alone is a very very strong use of perspective. So kudos to you on that. Of course, like I said, the elephant in the room, the detail. Um, it's a lot. And I think that comes from just being a new artist. Is no fault to him, but it's one of those things that I actually I have a piece. I don't have it now, but there was a piece I had that was literally like this, and I think I used every micron pen I had to this on this piece, and it was a guy lifting a truck, like he was like super strong, so he was lifting his truck, but it had everything was rendered, dude. Every line, every
Mhm.
dot, every curve, every angle. The lines had lines on top of lines on top of lines. And then I was just like, man, I thought I ate with that picture. I was like, yeah, this is dope, man. This is gonna be like amazing. And I like pulled it back, and you're like, yikes! Like that's a lot. So to the artist, less is best. I know, in your head you have this visual, and you definitely achieved the scene,
Mhm.
but everything else gets lost in the detail.
Yeah, we
Like,
lose a lot of the detail with how we lose a lot of the more important parts of the piece from how
right,
much detail is in the setting, in the background, right? Because there
right,
are characters that you have to really zoom in closely on to realize there are characters there,
yeah,
just because of how much detail you have going on here,
yep.
right?
And I think as you develop as an artist, you'll learn to figure out where to put that detail in and to actually make it special. Because
Mhm.
I think like there's I wish I could bring this in person's artwork up, but they have a very detailed style similar to this, and but of course, they do like they doing DC covers and stuff, man. But you learn how to be um comprehensive with your lines, where you're putting things, how you're adding them, when to add them, when to take away. Love the wood grain on the boat. I think it's amazing. But if the boat is going to be that detailed, then the characters need to have almost next to nothing. Similar to what you did with the elf at the very top, or what's her
Mhm.
name from
Yeah.
yeah,
Rinlin,
Dirty Deeds, yeah, ring,
Yeah.
at the top.
that's
Um,
girlfriend,
Oh, that's
by the
Rin.
way.
That's
Right.
Yeah. This is
um,
the Dirty Deeds crew, and that goes to the point of you lose the most important parts of the
yeah,
piece if things are overly detailed,
yep,
because this is actually the Dirty Deeds crew fighting against pirate versions of various of the characters, right? So right here
Shadra.
down at the bottom, you've got Shadron fighting
yep,
Spingy of all people.
Spingy. Yeah. Poor Spingy.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I didn't even
And
notice Pidgey.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
and so
Yeah.
here's obviously
The
Rinlin,
LCR.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
and she's fighting I believe it's Tuna Calhoun down here at the bottom. But you lose who you're really supposed to be looking at, what you're really supposed to be looking at when there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it is
Yeah.
possible to because Caanan was talking about this, and I have like 1,000, hundreds of pages that look just like this,
right.
where I had to render everything that was on the background. I think in our first episode I talked about like a Batman page where I
Yep,
rendered every like brick on a wall that was in the building that was, and it
yep,
was traditional. And when you're like hunching over the page, you feel like you're achieving something, but by
yeah,
adding a lot, but you're really not. Like
And
it's really about like controlling yourself and thinking about what's important in this image. uh the focal point, that's the thing that you have to focus on. And to me, this piece, like, the focal point is the action, right?
yeah,
So as much as you want to like show that you can make a cool background and like produce something that's realistic and amazing to look at. Like I can tell that there is a boat there, but if you start taking out stuff and you still can tell that there is a boat there, your job is done. Like there is no problem with drawing simple things and then focusing on what's important, right? Like the characters, the art, the action, because you have a lot of cool designs. Like I can see Chadron there, Felsier looks amazing, but it all like kind of gets lost into some of the detail that you're trying to convey. But
that's even more so for traditional art, because you don't have an undo button. Everything you draw, you have to go with it. Either start new or go for it. So if you do so many details, you're gonna have to commit to that and try to make the best with it.
If you're gonna do a detailed style like this, I've encouraged the artist to like look at an artist. There's two of them I'm thinking of. One is a little bit more fine arty, but it still was illustrator, and then the other one is an actual comic illustrator too. Well, he was too, the other guy. But Bernie Wrightson, amazing use of detail, but you can still tell where everything is.
It's my favorite artist, like of all time. Like he's the one that I look up the most, and this is like
he is good at taking a lot of information, a lot of lines, and still giving them place and purpose to the point where, like, there's a scene where it's like a Frankenstein lab, and there's so much going on, man, in that piece. But then at the same time, you still know where the main character is because he knows how to scale back. There's also a picture where it's like a Frankenstein monster, and he's inside of a shed, and the grass is like rendered like immaculately, but you can still tell what's going on. And then on the comic side, like more comic side of things, if you like that kind of like really energy type style, Mark Silvestri was really good at doing a lot of line work and a lot of hatching and scratching with his style, but it still comes out, comprehensive, where you know where everything is. Those are good artists to kind of look. And even your favorite
Jason Fabok as well, I would say.
Jason
Fabok. Is that like his
Jason's
work is
so
amazing.
good.
Jason.
You can look a lot of
as even like Michael Turner. Was good at that.
So you have a lot of potential. And there is a lot to look forward to as an artist, because this took me back to my pages, man. It really took me back to like 5-10 years ago, like more than that now. God, I'm old. But there is a lot to look forward to, because your life only gets easier from here, because you have to take out like a lot of what you're doing, because this piece must have taken a long time to make.
Oh gosh, this must have taken forever.
I know there's a lot of passion there.
Imagine coloring it.
This will be fun to color, now that I think about it, because much like the piece before, like you have the planes already.
Like
coloring it might also help really separate it far better to actually see what we're looking at.
But you're gonna lose a lot when you add color. Like what I would do, I would render like the characters that are in the foreground more, like the dirty Screw and Chadron. And then the stuff that's in the background would be like a tone of blue with some different tones of like gray and stuff like that, just to kind of separate things. If you had like an explosion or something like that, could add the tint of orange. But it would basically be that, like, and you would lose a lot of that like fine detail on the boat and stuff like that. But I really appreciate the hard work that goes into this.
Absolutely.
Like the straight lines, like the rope ladder that goes around, like there's a lot of attention to detail. I just think it could be like channeled more.
Like you mentioned the boat, man, like it's distinctly there. Like you can tell it's there, and it's rendered very well. Like and not only that, but the perspective like you mentioned, Andrew, is like solid. Like it's like I always when I see like images like this, you know, if it's tilted and you turn your head, it should look right side up, like you're looking down, and it does. It doesn't feel like it was skewed, and like you just drew it freehanded. You know, you actually, you know, you can tell like it's actually like they really like used the I was telling you, Marcos, like that you can tell they use those perspective lines. Like it's a 3-point or 3-point perspective, and they achieve that very well. It's just you lose it in the details, and that's really the only thing that kind of took this down was just or I'll say took it down, but you know the would be the like the negative feedback aspect of it was just, you know, knowing where to put stuff. And like I said, that comes as you learn your style first of all. So like I would encourage, definitely look at other artists that do a lot of detail, and even play with very little detail, next to none, where it's simply line weights.
Yeah.
You might be surprised. You know, you might gravitate toward that
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, I've recently posted a picture of I was studying, like I drew a hand holding a beetle, and I was like, man, I could render this beetle like to infinity, because they have so many parts and there's so much texture going on, and I promised myself I wouldn't add a single hatch or anything, and it's a great exercise, like just clear lines, outlines, like volume lines or something like that, but don't add like too much. Take it all out, just strip it down to the basics, and try to come up with something that looks good, because you're gonna see artists that just do that, and maybe that's you, or maybe that's something in the middle, or maybe you want to really hatch everything out, and that's part of the gig. But it's all about finding your style. Don't be afraid to try different things.
And there's no wrong answer either. Just because the style is more detailed doesn't mean that it's superior to a less detailed style that focuses more on
artists
line
like
weights.
Dan Moore and Frank Miller, and like
George
couldn't be
Jimenez,
more the
right?
opposite. You get all sorts of different styles that work. That's the beauty of comics. Like
Dan Moore's
really
style,
works.
man, it looks complex, but it's really basic. He just understands movement and structure.
He just knows how to make it look wicked awesome.
Shape language.
Right. You know, it's, and you know, there's a artist that I like to follow by the name of Olivier Coipel, and he is beautiful skill when it comes to handling a whole bunch of information on one page. Like his panel work is insane. And so find those creatives. Like I said, you know, we mentioned, you know, a couple of people that you can look at and like study from if you're interested. You know, everybody, you know, you find your style. I mean, you may end up completely going like the way of manga and anime. You know, my kids do that. You know, they you know, a lot of them went the way of, you know, One Piece and Bleach and, you know, all that stuff. But and that may be where you vibe with. There's an artist, and I've mentioned him before, but he goes by Cheeks. But he did Spectacular Spider-Man. He was one of the art directors on that. And his style is very, very simple. And he's rocked with it, and he's perfected it. So you know, as you're finding and discovering new styles, and if you love the detail, which, you know, I'm one of those individuals as well, you'll learn when to put it in there and learn when to scale back. And, you know, for a while, my art had 0 shadows. It was all line art. Like, and if you saw something, you're like, whoa, you know, like there's no, because I was scared, first of all, to add like a lot of the shadows because I didn't understand where to put them. But, you know, I just basically used line weight, and then I will let the colors, you know, add the shadows and the depth and all that stuff. And that worked for the time. But yeah, you're still growing. And like Igor said, there's a lot of potential, you know, to be really awesome. And I look forward to seeing you develop as an artist. Because
Excellent. Thank you, Joshua, for submitting your piece. I have also sent this piece to Caro, as you did draw her babies, the Dirty Deeds crew. So I shot that over to her. That's how she refers to them, as my babies. So thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Porter. Thank you, all the fans who have submitted pieces. These were the 3 that we were able to bring on to the show this month, but who knows? We'll make it next month. So, guys, in lieu of that, the prompt theme for next month's show, as is probably likely expected, since it'll be October and spooky season, it is going to be horror / Halloween. Again, as always, it must be Rippaverse focused, has to be Rippaverse characters. But besides that, as long as you stick to the horror / Halloween theme, go nuts. Have fun. And if we get pieces as good as this month, or half as good as this month, it's gonna be fun to talk about them. So, guys, that is your challenge. Submit those to me at andrew@rippaverse.com by 10:20. All right, end of day, the 20th of October, and we will likely record that either that day or the following day, and then put up the episode the day after that, to be Wednesday, because I'm trying to drop these on Wednesdays, and then because the following weekend, or that weekend, is going to be SpaceCon, so I will be in San Antonio.
Oh, true.
So yeah, there's that. I am going to put up the gentleman's pieces here one last time while I hit some housekeeping stuff before we get on out of here, guys. Be sure to vote if you have not done so already. We'll see who takes the belt and non-existent crown this month. I think Igor's the current reigning champ. Is that correct?
Because he did Zeph. Yeah.
That's
His hair is his crown.
That piece, I kid you not. Hold on, I'll even show it. That piece is my phone lock screen.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's been my lock screen since you did it.
I'm so happy with that.
So thank you for that. I usually rotate out my lock screens and wallpapers very frequently, and that one has stayed put. So
that's cool, man.
Thank you for that.
I'm glad about that.
Guys, these are your choices. Vote now. Make sure you pre-order. Let's see. Gary's book, Waiting for Neurotic, closes this Friday, so that will still be open for a couple more days as of this airing on Wednesday. That is live over at rippasen.com. I think it's creeping up on 160K, if I am remembering correctly. So that's fantastic. Thank you for supporting that. It's an inspirational story that can show that, you can make some pretty serious mistakes in your younger years, but still turn your life around and do something great. So make sure you guys give that a look. Definitive Yaira Volume 1 is up right now. Yaira's first arc, first 3 issues, all collected in one volume. I know a lot of y'all probably just received Yaira 3 from your pre-order in the mail, and now we've got the collected edition rocking. I totally understand. It came quick, but this is going to be a really nice piece to have on the shelf, just like I have my omnibuses on my shelf, or have it with, maybe you've got your Trinity omnibus and your ISOM definitive Volume 1. Stick those on your coffee table. Those are great discussion pieces. It's also just, it hits differently when you read a full story in one book, right? Even if you have all the individual ones, right? It hits different when it's just a seamless transition, right? I can speak from experience on that. So guys, please check that out. Bloodworth 2 is now live. It's doing fantastic. It's already over 80K and like 2,400 books sold. ISOM Primeval, over 500 copies of Avery's McFarlane action figure. Is his 7-inch scale. McFarlane 7-inch scale. That's what he's known for. I can speak from experience on that as well, because if I'm not spending like $100 on an action figure, 100 plus on like say a Revoltech or Play Arts Kai or something like that, or freaking $300 on Hot Toys, then I'm typically getting McFarlane's action figures for my like more affordable figures. So guys, please check that out. The faster that those sell, the faster we'll be able to greenlight and put into production some other characters. So please do that. And lastly, Rippazine number 5 is available for pre-order as well. That is also closing Friday night at 11 p.m. Central. That has my short story introduction along with Edu Souza, who is a fantastic artist. He did a great job on the short story that I did introducing Zephyr Arlen's short story is Blue Shift Tryouts. He's hopefully going to be our Rippaverse Speedster or Sprint Breaker. And that's all up to you guys. You guys got to read it. You guys got to tell me you like it. You got to tell Eric you like it. And then you also have to tell Eric you want more of it. Otherwise, I'm just over here. I'm going to just continue writing pigeons. But I have fun doing that with Marcos, though. We have fun.
Hey, you have 2 stories in the Rip Scene 5. The pigeon one and the
I guess that's true.
Blue Shift.
That's true. This is the one I'm most proud of. This issue's Pigeonverse, a bird's eye view story. Though I really, if you guys haven't gotten Rippazine 4 yet, which we're almost completely sold out of both standard and collector's edition. And guys, we don't reprint those. So like once they're out, they're out. So get that. I'm pretty proud of the bird's eye view story in that one as well, but you should also really get it because the Saskas wrote a great short story in that with Catch and Kill.
Yes.
So that's why you should get that.
We should make a pile up of all the Pigeonverse pages eventually, like a book of just the pigeon pages.
Pigeon Bus.
Pigeon Bus. Definitive Pigeonverse.
Yeah. What would I call? I'd have to call it something on the nose if I was calling it a collection. Would I call it?
You guys don't like puns? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I never heard of puns. Definitely not from Andrew.
Never seen you guys making puns.
Yeah, I guess I should have said I'd want it to be really on the beak, but what can I say? Thank you guys for all your incredible support. That crossed 60K and 2,500 books sold. So in this sketchbook, you will see a silly head sketch of what Zephyr's super suit looked like in its very early stages before I decided on some of the more fine detail and kind of like differentiating it more. But if we hit 100K, which is we've got, as of today recording, we've got 4 days. Almost 4 days. 3.5 days. That's time enough to hit 100K. We hit that. You'll see the full Andrew sketch, and Lord Almighty, that's
it's not as bad as you say.
Yikes, guys, yikes. So if you want to laugh at me for that one, pre-order Rippazine number 5, please and thank you. I appreciate you all. Even if all you did was redeem your free member copy of the standard edition, which you get if you are a $5 member on our website, you get a free copy of every single Rippazine as it comes out. Now, it doesn't work retroactively, so if you just became a member, you get number 5, but you won't be able to get 4 back through 1. But if you stay a member, you'll get 5 through however long we keep doing this. So, guys, take advantage of that. That's free.
Opportunity.
The $5 membership is actually cheaper than the standard copy of the magazine. Standard copy of the magazine is, I think, like $8. So that's a savings of $3, and it's free. So it's actually a savings of $8. So you should do that. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, as always, for hanging out with us, everybody. Having guys in the chat, having you hanging out. Even if you're just lurking, we appreciate the support. The watch time helps us out a lot. We want to continue to build this show because it's a lot of fun to do. We want to bring on some more special guests. I'm working on trying to have a special guest for the October episode. We'll see if that works out. It'll be a very appropriate artist to have for the October episode if we can get them. So look forward to that, guys. I look forward to seeing you guys' submissions for the prompt. But until next time, as always, God bless and Godspeed.
Peace.
Peace.